All right, Tuesday, we've got the Washington football team heading to Philadelphia to face the Eagles. We have no idea who's playing quarterback for either team in this game. Jalen Hurts is injured. Eagles are off the bye week, but we don't know for sure if he'll play, especially with the condensed schedule coming up now. We don't know if Taylor Heineke will play or Kyle Allen or one of the names they literally signed off the street to play quarterback. Terry McLaurin is a question mark. There's a lot of question marks here. The winner of this game goes to 7-7 and ties for the 7 seed. So this game does matter, but I don't have any idea where to start here without knowing who's coming or who's going. Do you have any angle on this one?
This was another frustrating game for me simply because I actually took the Eagles earlier on, laying the 6.5, knowing where the number was going to go. Look, sometimes you do everything right in this business, and it, for whatever reason, it just flips on its head and just doesn't work out with the NFL postponing this game. We were at a place to where you look at this Washington football team, they were missing 5 of their 6 linemen on the defense. Like the only tackle they had was Deron Payne. Like literally everybody on the defensive line was out. Matt Ioannidis. You had Jonathan Allen. You had Montez Sweat. Obviously, Chase Allen's out for the year. It's like the Eagles were going to run through this defense like a hot knife through butter, and the whole handicap is going now. So,
yeah. And by the way, Washington was playing a quarterback that was on the roster the day, like 24 hours before the game. Like this was going to be what was it? Kendall Hilton was that the Broncos guy last year. This was going to be one of those games again where it's just like, all right, this is not football. What are we doing here? And yeah, you're upset. You had the Eagles 6.5. I had Eagles 2.5. I had that on the look ahead last week. So I got that ticket. I'm feeling real good about it. And now who knows what's going to happen with this one.
When you look at the Eagles' backup quarterback situation, obviously Gardner Minshew has experience. He's come in earlier this year, and he carved up the Jets. Obviously, the Jets defense, but this Washington football team defense hasn't proven that they truly can stop anybody. I know they've had some regression in recent weeks, but Gardner Minshew was capable of carving up this Washington football team defense, and in some ways, he has skill sets that Jalen Hurts doesn't have. He's able to throw the ball all around the field. So I'm not looking at that as a downgrade at all. So, I mean, I think when this matchup, you kind of got to be looking at the Philadelphia Eagles minus 6.5. Washington's not going to get everybody back. And the Eagles know they need to win this because they're in the unfortunate position of having to play 3 games in 13 days. Obviously, we saw the Titans were successful in this last year, but with the way COVID is happening this year, it almost feels like March 2020 again. So if they don't win this game, who knows who they get in contact with the Washington football team, who's going to be missing next week. So I think you'll get a big effort from the Eagles. I kind of really like them in this spot, but you got to check on the injury report for both teams and the Washington football team.
Yeah, I like the Eagles a little better here, but I don't know if I'm going to play this one. If the line is around 6.5, 6, it's a little too rich for me. 11 of the last 17 games between these teams have been 1-score games. So it's usually close. And it's a weird spot on a Tuesday evening, and we don't really know what we're going to get from either side. I agree that Minshew is not a huge downgrade as a player from Jalen Hurts, but it's a big downgrade in identity. Like I've been in on this Eagles team because of that run first identity that they'd really taken with Hurts. And Minshew does give them other options. I just feel like I don't want the standard version of the Eagles with them passing. I want the unique Eagles with Hurts and the rushing attack. That has actually been working and getting some interest from me. So if I know Hurts is playing, if I can get this line under 6, so get past that key number of 5, 5.5, somewhere in there, maybe I look at the Eagles, but I think otherwise I may stay away from this one. The other game Tuesday night, you and I are actually interested in this one. Seahawks at Rams. This is a big one. Rams have dominated this rivalry lately. Right now, Rams are 6.5 or 7-point favorites, depending on your book. See, this is basically the line is about back to where it was before all the COVID stuff came in. So we both like Seahawks here. Why do you like Seattle?
I just think this line is too high. Like when you look at this Los Angeles Rams team, I don't know if they've necessarily proved anything to me. And especially when you look at the fact that this Arizona Cardinals team, they lost to the Detroit Lions today. So that's a big reason why this line is so high. And look, what is their record against winning teams? Like who have they truly beat? Obviously, they beat the Buccaneers earlier in the season, and but I mean, outside of that, they've struggled. They lost to the 49ers, lost to the Packers, they got blown out by the Titans. This team is a team that's been beaten up on inferior competition all year long. And when you look at the history between the Seahawks and the Rams, these teams always play each other tough. They played each other tough earlier on this year in the game in which Russell Wilson got injured. So I'm expecting a closer matchup. Obviously, the Rams still have some guys out with COVID. We still don't know who's missing from them. Ramsey is back for this matchup. And I think the COVID news is it's going to loom large over all these games. Obviously, Lockett was out for Seattle, but I just think it's too many points.
Yeah, I think it's too many points. And I think it's interesting too. So the last time we saw the Rams on the field was Monday night a week ago when they beat up on the Cardinals and looked so good. And it was very telling to me, I thought, that the Rams entered Monday night favored by 7 in this game, beat the Cardinals, looked great in Arizona, and came out of the game still favored by the same 7 points. That to me is the book saying, go ahead, bring us your Rams money, throw it all on there. We're not moving the line at all. We want that action. Give us your Rams money. I like Seattle here. I think it's too many points. I think there's too much faith in the Rams right now. Before Monday Night Football, over the previous 6 weeks, the Rams ranked 31st in the NFL on EPA offensively. They were basically tied with the Texans as the worst offense in the league. And the Texans were extremely offensive during that stretch. I assure you, the Rams were second to last passing EPA during that stretch too. So they've not been good. I don't know that one game against the Cardinals magically fixes everything for them. Russell Wilson for the season, #1 EPA on early downs. He's looking a little healthier each week. He's going to miss Tyler Lockett, so that is a big hit here. But before all the news this week, this was one of my favorite spots. Seattle +7 in that range. I still like it a lot here. Russell Wilson as an underdog, 25, 12, and 2 against the spread in his career, 68% cover rate. So he's a guy that shows up. Seattle's not out of this yet. Seattle has a real chance to win out here. And I'm seeing +2,400 at some books to make the playoffs. I already got my money in on that one. It's a long shot, but I don't think it's a 24-1 long shot. The NFC race is open. Russell Wilson's playing well. If they get this game here, they've got a real chance to close out strong and maybe still get into 9-8. And 9-8 gives you a shot in the NFC. So I like Seattle here. I'm going to play the money line as well. Are you going to play the money line or stick with the cover?
I'm going to stick with the cover, but I agree with you. I do think they're live to possibly make the playoffs at this point. So I do like the long shot there. Obviously got the Bears, the Lions, and the Cardinals. All of those are winnable games. And I think we can see it happen. I'm never going to count Russell out. Russell is probably one of my favorite players in the league. He's a guy who's just carried this franchise for so long. So yeah, he's never a guy that you want to count out.
They'll have a chance. Their biggest problem is not necessarily getting to that 9-8. I think they could do that. But a lot of the teams that they may have to go a head-to-head tiebreaker with are the teams they lost to already. So they're going to need to win, and they're going to need to get some help along the way. It's a steep challenge for sure, but I think Seattle does have a shot.